Welcome to Kicks and Minivans, a podcast for dads who love sneakers. I am your host, KG. However you're watching and listening, we thank you for joining us, for tuning in, hanging out for a little bit. Jump right into the kicks of the week. This one's a little bit different. We got the Nike Pegasus. I know what you're thinking. If you're looking on YouTube, you're like, yo, this shoe beat up. This ain't no J's. They ain't fresh. What is this? This is like my everyday walking shoe. It's a running shoe technically, but I hate running, so I don't run in it. But this is my everyday, like I work out in these. I go for walks in these. I take the kids to the playground in these. This is a very comfortable shoe. If people are ever asking me for recommendations on just everyday shoes, or they work retail and are on their feet all the time, or running shoes, like this is almost always the shoe that I recommend. I always have like at least one or two pairs of them. These are starting to get beat. I have a pair of gray ones that are super beat right now that I use for some workouts and yard work and stuff like that. But we talk about fitness today. We're gonna be talking about some fitness today, and so I had to throw the Nike Pegasus up in here. And also, I love this one. These were really fresh when I first got them, but they're a couple years old now, and they've seen a lot of miles. Again, not running miles. But a lot of miles nonetheless. But the black, red, and white, just love that combo. One of the most classic combos in sneakers is the black, red, and white color combo. So Nike Pegasus, they also are like typically a little cheaper than some of the other running shoes on the market. I think retail, last I looked, was like $120, but you can always find a sale on them. eBay is also a great place to go look for them. You can buy them new on eBay. We often buy them. Like Becky wears them to work. She's a nurse. She's on her feet all day. She wears Nike Pegasus to work. She wears them until they're completely trashed, and then we get her a new pair. So, and again, we usually get those off eBay. Sometimes Nike runs sales on them too. But great sneaker to go get if you're looking for just an everyday walker type of thing. Like I said, we're gonna be talking about fitness today. We spend a lot of time, the mission of this podcast is to help men win in marriage and parenting. We spend a lot of time on trying to help men get to their healthiest place, because I believe the healthiest men make the best husbands and the best fathers. And we don't spend a ton of time talking about the physical health, because as Nate Branham pointed out, I think it was like episode 4 of this podcast, like the 4th episode we ever did, he came on and talked about the 6 domains of health. He talked about not just your physical health, but your mental, emotional, spiritual, relational, and vocational health. And I think financial health is also a part of that too. But we talk about all these different domains of health. And the physical one is linked to that, because you cannot separate your physical being from the rest of you. Like we are, God created us uniquely as these spiritual beings in this physical body. And I believe all these domains of health are interconnected, interlocked. And so, Socrates famously said, we can do nothing without the body. Let us always take care that it is in the best condition to sustain us. And he also said, it is a shame for a man to grow old without seeing the beauty and strength of which his body is capable. Ooh, have you seen your body's full potential? Have you unlocked your body's full potential, seen what your body can really do? At this point in my life, no. I'm closer to that than I ever have been. At 33 years old, I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm closer to that than I ever have been, but I have not unlocked my body's full potential. I have not seen everything that my body is capable of. I hope to, but I have not at this point in time. But here's the thing. We're going to be talking about this because I believe if you want to be the best man you can be, the best husband, the best father, the best employee, the best friend, the best boss, the best colleague that you can be, it requires you taking care of your body. It requires you having, and that's not to say like you got to have washboard abs, you got to have the biggest arms in the gym. It's not to say any of that. But if you are obese, if you are overweight, if you are completely out of shape, number one, there's just some health risks that come along with that. Number two, it just makes the day-to-day tasks of life harder. And it makes what you are able to do and what you are able to bring to the table more limited, because physically you can't keep up. And the CDC, they listed a risk of they made a list of all the risks of being overweight or obese. The first thing they said was all causes of death. Not just like one or two causes of death. They said all causes of death go up in risk when you are overweight or obese. In addition to that, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, stroke, gallbladder disease, joint pain, sleep apnea, breathing problems, cancer, low quality of life, mental illness, body pain, difficulty with physical functioning and everyday day-to-day tasks. All of that is a higher risk, and just life is just harder when you are overweight and you are obese. So today I'm gonna give you all 3 things to focus on, because I believe that everyone listening can lose weight and get into better shape. It is in your realm of possibility. It is something that you can do, that you can accomplish. And I'm gonna give you the keys to do it. And this is the way that I did it. But it's not to say it's the only way, but I believe anyone that has lost weight has applied these 3 keys. They may have taken a different approach, but that approach encompassed these 3 things, right? And again, this isn't so that you could go and get washboard abs so you can be the biggest, strongest dude in the gym. That stuff's dope. I don't work out for vanity's sake. I don't try to keep up with anyone in the gym. I have my own home gym now anyway. So like I work out here. I don't ego lift. I have back issues. And so like I dropped ego lifting at the door years ago. And yes, I want to increase my weight in the gym of how much I'm lifting. But that's because I have goals that I want to reach, that now I want to get stronger, not because I'm trying to show off for nobody. Right? And if you get to a point where you are in better physical shape, you will be a better father, husband, friend, employee, boss. And not just better in the here and now, but better for the long haul. You will be better over time, for a longer duration of time, because I believe God has uniquely created you with a purpose, something that he has designed you to do and accomplish. And you may not be able to accomplish that if you are not physically fit enough to do so. And you may believe like my body's good for nothing more than taking my head from place to place. I don't believe that's true, because your body's connected to your head. It is all one. And so the level of physical fitness that you have to bring to the table will spill over into other areas of life, because you can't just buy a better body. You could pay for weight loss surgery. You could pay for a personal trainer. You could pay for a gym membership. You could pay for meal preps, buy healthier food. You could do all that. But at the end of the day, if you want to be physically fit, you have to do the work. No one else can do the work for you. You can't pay someone else to do the work for you. You could pay a trainer to teach you what to do, but you still have to do it. You still have to eat or not eat the food. You can't just buy a better body like that. You can buy the weight loss surgery, but losing weight is not equal to being in better shape. You have to do, and because we are one spirit, I believe that our physical health is linked to all these other domains of health: our emotional, our mental, our spiritual, our relational, our vocational health. And it boosts your confidence when you take care of your body. There is something about walking into a room, and 90% of the rooms I walk into, I'm fairly confident I'm the most physically fit one in that room. And that's not to brag, that's not to boast, that's just, I know that I have a level of discipline, and I've done what others in that room have decided not to do. I've made a decision to prioritize my health, and others have not done that. And I know like in 90% of the rooms I walk in, I'm the most physically fit one in that room. And in the other 10, I'm in the top 10%. And there is something about that that gives you an air of confidence. And again, not trying to turn it to pridefulness, but it does give you confidence that you can hold your head high and you can just observe and see who takes care of their body or not. You can't necessarily look at someone and be like, oh man, their mental health is top notch. But you can look at someone and tell if they have discipline, tell if they take care of their physical health. And one more thing, and then I'll tell you the 3 keys that I focused on to lose the weight and keep it off. You, as a man, as a husband, you have no right to complain about your wife gaining weight if you yourself are overweight or obese. especially if she gave you children. If you are overweight or obese, shut your mouth about your wife's weight. If you want her to lose weight, and if you just want her to lose weight so she look better and she's skinnier, you're kind of a douche. If you want her to lose weight because it would boost her confidence, because she wants to lose weight and you want it for her because it would make her happy, if you want her to lose weight because she'd be healthier, she'd have more energy to play with the kids, like if you want her to lose weight for those reasons, then be a man, lead, take charge, lead by example, take care of your own health and fitness, and invite her to come along with you. But don't start shaming her for gaining weight, especially if she gave you children, if you yourself are overweight or obese. Lead by example, invite her into the journey with you. Work out together. I love working out with my wife, man. Just this morning we were in there, we were doing leg day. Leg day is 10 times better when she's in there doing it with me. We could suffer together. It's so much more enjoyable working out with my wife, but we do this fitness thing together. And guess what? She started taking it seriously about 7 months ago. After 10 months of me taking it seriously, she's like, oh, hey, I could do this too. And she started joining in with me. Back in December 2022, I was at my unhealthiest point I had ever been in. Right now at 33, almost 34, I feel like I'm in the healthiest point of my life. December 2022, I was not that. I was at my unhealthiest point in life. I was 199 pounds, and I had always told myself I would never let myself get to 200. 200 does not look good on me. I have very skinny genetics, skinny frame, and so it all goes to the gut. 200 looks terrible on me. So I'd always let myself go a little bit, but I always said like I will never go over 200. And I had broken into the 190s a couple times. And every time I did, I could lose the weight off real quick. Like 5 or 6 times in my adult life since college, I had lost like 25 to 30 pounds in about 3 months' time. But I would always do it in a way that I hated. Eating salads, eating stir fries, running, all this crazy intense cardio that I just hated and despised. And I would lose the weight in 3 months, but I didn't do it in a sustainable way, and I would gain it all back. But I always knew like, hey, I could lose it again if I want to, when I'm ready to. And so I never really worried about getting that out of shape because I knew I could get back into shape as soon as I wanted to within a couple months' time. Until December 2022, I was at 199, and I said, I need to do something, and I need to do something sustainable for the long haul because I am tired of living like this. And so over the last 18 months or so, I've created a healthier lifestyle that is something that I can consistently stay with for what I'm hoping is the rest of my life. And so I want to share with you the 3 keys that I've focused on in getting more fit. And this is something that I think everyone listening, barring some medical thing, everyone listening is capable of these things. Every single person listening, there is no excuse. You are capable of these things. I'm a stay-at-home dad. I run a podcast. I have a meal prep business. I do all these other things. And I am in the best shape of my life at 33 years old. The first thing, consistency. Consistency is absolutely key. Consistency is paramount. And whatever you decide to do, can you consistently do it day in, day out for the long haul? As I said, I've lost weight a ton of times and then I would gain it right back. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to create a sustainable lifestyle that was different for me now than it ever has been in the past. And so I said, okay, with everything that I do, I need to make sure that I can do it consistently. And I can stick with it even when I've lost the weight, that it's a lifestyle I enjoy enough to stay with for the long haul. Because I was like, I care more about me being in good shape and being healthy 10 years from now than I care about a number on the scale 3 months from now. And so losing 30 pounds in 3 months, great. But then regaining it back in the next 3 months, not so great. And so what can I do now to lose the weight, keep it off, stay physically fit so I don't got to get ready, I can stay ready, and I can stay fit, I can stay in shape for the long haul. In 10, 20, 30 years from now, I can still be living that lifestyle that's different. Number one, consistency. You have to be consistent with it. You have to do something that you can stick with for the long haul. Number one's consistency. Number two, your nutrition. You can't outwork a bad diet. Unless you're Michael Phelps and you eat 12,000 calories a day when you're training, which is just disgusting how much that dude ate. But your nutrition, you cannot outwork a bad diet. You have to figure the food thing out. And for me, I track all my macros. I track my calories. And then I pay attention, I track my protein, and I pay attention to my fat intake, my carbs, and my fiber. So when people talk about, to start with the basics, the only way that you lose weight is by eating in a calorie deficit. You do not have to work out in order to lose weight. And in fact, I think about 5% of your calories burned in a day is from working out. You burn 95% of your calories just from staying alive and living life and doing stuff. But only 5% of your calories burned in a day is from exercise. And so the nutrition is so much more important. I got these cinnamon rolls in my pantry right now that we bought for the kids at Aldi. They're 280 calories a piece or something like that. They're delicious though. I can eat one of those, and I had one yesterday. I can eat one of those and fit it within my calories. It would take me hours to burn that off. Maybe not hours, but it would take me a long time to burn that off as opposed to 2 minutes to eat the thing. And that's just one thing that I can eat like that. And so you can't just outwork a bad diet. You have to get the nutrition thing down. The only way to lose weight is by eating in a calorie deficit. Doing cardio, running, exercising, doing all that will help you be in a calorie deficit because you're burning more calories throughout the day. But that's not the key to losing weight. The key is eating in a calorie deficit. If you want to lose weight, just eat in a calorie deficit. If you want to lose fat, eat in a calorie deficit and eat enough protein. And so for me, a good place you could start is a website called tdeecalculator.net. I'll put it in the show notes. But you go there, you put in all your info that they ask you, and then it tells you your calorie goals. And it will tell you your maintenance calories, which is what you need to eat for your body to stay the same. And then it will tell you if you are trying to cut, lose weight, or bulk, gain weight, put on muscle. It will tell you all the breakdowns for all that stuff. And it's a really good place to start. And you might need to test it for a couple weeks, but it's a really good place to start. But eating in a calorie deficit is the only way to lose weight. And so you figure out your maintenance calories and then subtract 300 to 500 from that. And for me, that was a good range for me. If I went 1,000 under, I wouldn't be able to stick with it. I'd crash, I'd burn, I'd binge, right? Eating 300 to 500 below my maintenance level and now allowed me enough leeway in my day that I can enjoy some of the foods I wanted to enjoy while still losing the weight. But if you want to lose fat, you can't just eat in a calorie deficit. You have to eat enough protein. And so for me, I target 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight every single day. And so right now I weigh 172. And so I'm eating at least 170 grams of protein a day. And actually, since I increased the maintenance calories, I'm eating about 3,000 calories a day and I'm eating about 200 grams of protein a day. And so that helps me build and keep on muscle. Even while I was losing weight, I was able to build and keep on muscle because I was eating enough protein. But if you, and I hear people say well, keto's the only thing that works for me. The only reason that any of these fad diets work is because it puts you in a calorie deficit. The only reason carnivore diet works, the only reason keto works, the only reason Weight Watchers works is because it puts you in a calorie deficit. That is the only reason that it works. No other reason except for it puts you in a calorie deficit. But here's the thing. If you're yo, I got to go on keto again because that's the only way I lose weight. Every time I go on, I lose 10 pounds. First off, you're losing water weight because you're cutting out all your carbs. Your carbs help you retain water. Second off, if you have to go on keto because it's the only thing that worked, but you've done it 5 or 6 times, it didn't actually work because you regained the weight and you have to go start it again because you did something that wasn't sustainable. So instead, build a lifestyle that's sustainable that you can be consistent with. Again, that's the key. And so for me, I never went keto because I love carbs too much. I love bread, I love tortillas, I love pasta, I love candy, brownies, like I love all that stuff. And so I never went keto because I wasn't willing to give up the things that I love. That's the truth. And here's the thing. I lost my 30 pounds. It took me about a year because I went very slowly. I lost about a half pound to a pound a week was my rate. But I was okay with that because I wasn't rushing to get to that end result. I was building a lifestyle that was sustainable. And so I researched, there's tons of people you can follow on Instagram that have low calorie, high protein meal prep options that you could do. And look, I reached my weight goals, and now it's like, hey, I'm just trying to maintain, put on a little more muscle. I'm eating at my maintenance now. I'm eating all the same foods I was eating. I'm just eating more of them. So when I was cutting, I was at about 2,300 calories a day. For most of my cut, I dipped down to like 2,100 near the end of it. But most of my losing weight, I was at about 2,300 calories a day. Now I'm eating about 3,000. I'm eating all the same things, just extra. I might have some extra sweets in there too. Like I might have some extra Oreos or Reese's or something like that because I love it. But I'm eating popcorn. I'm eating my now Ninja Creamies. I'm not going to do a big tangent on Ninja Creamies. But when I can eat a whole pint of ice cream for like 400 calories and 30 grams of protein, yo, that fits in the macros easily. That makes such a cheat code. So, you know, I didn't have to give up ice cream because I got the Ninja Creamy. But I would recommend if you are wanting to lose weight, wanting to lose fat specifically, for a long period of time, start tracking your calorie intake and your protein intake. You don't have to track all your macros. You can if you want to. For me, that got too much like a science project. And so for me, I aim for, you know, right now, eating at maintenance, I'm at 3,000 calories, 200 grams of protein, and they say you should get about 1 gram of fat for every 3 pounds. So a third of your body weight in fat. So I aim to get about 60-ish grams of fat in a day, but I don't care that much. As long as I hit my protein and my calorie goals, and then I've been trying to hit a fiber goal lately too. As long as I hit those things, I kind of just let carbs and fats be whatever they are. Because it's just too much for me to track all of that. Instead, I know I can track my calories. I know I can track my protein. And so as long as I hit those numbers, I'm good. I'm Gucci. But following those and just having that be the guideline for my diet allows me to eat whatever I want and fit it into the macros. And if I go crazy one day, me and Becky, we had date night last week. And so we went out, we got pasta for dinner, and we went to our favorite ice cream spot, bro. Oh my goodness, that ice, my creamies are great, but like Handles, if you are in Indiana and you've had Handles, like, yo, this is the best ice cream I've had in my life. I get that 4-scoop sampler to give you 4 different flavors to like, it's like a flight, ice cream flight thing. Bro, I ate like 5,000 calories. I estimate, I didn't even track it all, but I estimate I ate about 5,000 calories that day. But guess what? The next day I woke up, I went right back down to my 3,000 calories. I went right back to where I was because I knew I didn't wreck anything by going overboard one day. And so being able to build a sustainable lifestyle allows me to eat the foods that I want on a daily basis. Like we've been eating burgers. Like we made burgers probably like 5 of the last 7 days because it's been great weather. Boys have been loving the hot dogs on the grill. Me and Becky been loving burgers on the grill. Like we're grilling burgers like almost every night lately. That fits in my macros. It fits in easily. I don't have to give up the things that I enjoy. Now, I'm not going to Red Robin and smashing a 1,300 calorie burger with bottomless steak fries. I'm not doing that 5 nights a week. But a burger that I made on the grill is about 500 calories with like 40 grams of protein. I can eat that every single day. I can eat 3 of those a day if I want to, right? Because I built this sustainable lifestyle, and then have a healthier relationship with food. I can eat the things that I want to eat and not feel guilty about it, not feel like my whole plan is derailed because I eat these things. And I can do it consistently, and I know I can do this for the long haul, like for the rest of my life. I can eat this way. I love the way that I eat. I love the food that I enjoy. I love how it makes me feel. I love the energy and the strength that it gives me. Figure out the nutrition thing. Number 1, consistency. Number 2, nutrition. Number 3, hit the gym, bro. Lift them weights. You don't have to go running 3 miles a day in order to lose weight. Lift though. Build that muscle. Muscle helps you burn fat easier. And then if you are eating in a calorie deficit, eating enough protein and lifting weight, it's like a cheat code, bro. It is like a cheat code for life that you will just feel better. You will feel stronger. You will look better. You will look stronger. Your wife, like, there was one time Becky was giving me a hug and she was like, "What is that?" She's like, "I didn't even know muscles existed there." I was like, "Yo, for real? Me neither." Like, I got some like new back muscles I'm feeling. Like, it is a cheat code for life to lift weights. Number 1, my mental health is so much better when I lift. I love lifting. I love the endorphins it gives me. I love the high it gives me. I love how it makes me feel about myself. That I feel stronger. Like, yo, someone in Jace's class has to have the strongest daddy. And I'm going to try to make it me. Like, you ever tell your friends when you were a kid, like, my dad could beat up your dad? I used to say that. My dad could beat up your dad. That was a lie. I want Jace to be able to say that. Not really. Like, I ain't going to get into a fight with nobody. But I want to be able to be strong. I want to be able to lift my kids up, pick them up, throw them on the bed, wrestle with them. Like, I want to be able to be strong with them for the long haul. And look, you don't got to lift 6 days a week. Lift 3 days a week. 3 days a week, 30-minute sessions. I love Coach Montel Harden. He was on here on the podcast in season 1. He said if you do 90 minutes of weightlifting a week, you can make incredible progress. And that's what he has a lot of his clients do. You can look him up on Instagram. I'll tag him in the show notes too because I think he's a great follow on Instagram. He is someone that I absorbed a lot of his content when I was learning about how to lose weight and get fit. I absorbed a ton of his content. Would love to have him back on the show one day. But if you start lifting 3 to 4 days a week, and you don't have to run to lose weight, especially if you hate it. If you love running, like, go run, but also lift. But for me, I hate running. I went running a couple weeks ago, maybe a month or 2 now, because I wasn't able to play ball because my hand had my thumb injury. And so I wasn't able to play ball, but my body was craving that like high energy, high intensity exercise. So I was like, yo, I'm gonna go for a run. It's the only thing that makes sense. I was 5 minutes into it. I was like, this sucks. This is the worst. If you go run marathons and stuff, like, power to you, but I am not joining you. I hate that stuff, man. I will play ball all day long. I'll go play for 8 hours if I could. Like, I'll play ball forever. I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with running, and so I hate running, and so I don't run. That run I took a couple months ago was the first run I've taken in like 4 or 5 years. Since peak COVID, actually. I went running during peak COVID because I lost all my basketball places. But that's the last time I had run. And I don't plan on doing it again anytime soon because it was terrible and I hated it. You don't have to run in order to lose weight. Lift weights, but increase your movement, increase your activity level. Wrestle with your kids more. Play tag with your kids. Get a step counter. Get a watch or something. Like, I got mine. Becky has an Apple Watch. I got like a $30 one off Amazon, right? It tracks all my steps. It gives me text notifications, all that. Like, it don't do much, but it's enough. But get your steps up. Set a certain step count. It doesn't have to be 10,000. 10,000 is like this golden rule that people made, but like, it doesn't have to be that. Just go up from what you're currently doing. If you're at 5,000, go for 7,000. If you're at 7,000, go for 9,000 steps. Like, just increase your steps. Park at the back of the parking lot, especially with nicer weather. Like, take the family on a walk after dinner each night. Take the stairs instead of the elevator. Start running basketball games more. Play pickleball. Whatever you want to do. Like, increase your movement. Doesn't mean you have to go running all the time, but increase your movement. Lift weights. It is a cheat code. That's the 3 things: consistency, nutrition, and lift weights and move more. Your activity, like, that's the formula. That's the formula right there. And anything that this watch tells me that I burn working out, I don't add that into my calories for the day. I think that's a thing too, like, because these things are also horribly inaccurate. We were I was playing ball one time, and at the end of it, this dude was like, man, my watch said I burned 1,300 calories playing ball today. And that might have been true. But my watch said I burned 300. I guarantee you that dude was not hustling more than me out there. There's no way he burned 1,000 calories more. And so if you go and you eat back 1,300 calories, you are never going to make progress. And so any calories that I burn, I do not add into my calorie intake for the day. I eat what I want and I fit it into those macros. But consistency, nutrition, and movement. And make sure that your nutrition and your movement is something you could be consistent with for the rest of your life. If you do those three things, man, that's like anyone that has lost weight and built a healthy lifestyle, they have done so by following those three things. That's how they've done it. And they may have had different approaches. Maybe they did keto. Maybe they just did what I did eating. Maybe they did carnivore diet, whatever. But they fit it in because they put it in a calorie deficit. Maybe they run more because they enjoy running, or they bike because they enjoy biking. I don't enjoy those things. I enjoy basketball, so I play basketball. I enjoy lifting weights, so I lift weights. Whatever you are going to do, make it enjoyable, sustainable for the long haul. Your wife is counting on you. Your kids are counting on you. You have a whole world counting on you, and you have something God created you specifically, uniquely to do. And if you are not at the top of your game, you just may not be able to do the things you were created to do. If your body cannot sustain you for the long haul, and everyone listening, it is in your power and your ability to make a change that you can live with for the rest of your life. If you want more help with this, DM me, inbox me. If you want like really dialed in help and you want to hire someone to help you with this, I cannot recommend Coach Montel Harden enough. This is not a paid ad for him. I did not hire him, but I absolutely love his content and what he's doing. And so again, I'll tag his stuff in the show notes as well. If you want someone and you can afford someone to really dial these things in for you and help lay the groundwork for you, that's a great place to go do it. At least give him a follow on socials and intake his content that he's creating that are helping men do this very thing that I'm talking about here. But I believe in you. I believe you could do it. Happy to answer any questions. Hit us in the DM, send me a text, whatever. kicksandminivans@gmail.com if you want to reach me that way. Until next time, take care of yourself, take care of your family. Your wife and your kids is counting on you. This is Kicks and Minivans.